Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly pumped to have you here today because, well, we're about to unravel one of the absolute most cinematic and enduring mysteries on the planet, the Great Pyramid of Giza. We're going to look really closely at the hard physical evidence, we'll venture into hidden chambers, and we'll even examine the modern-day gatekeepers of history. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. For nearly 5,000 years, we've all been taught a very simple, straightforward story in school. We're told that Pharaoh Khufu built this colossal monument as his own personal tomb, using thousands of workers over just 20 short years. But what if that story isn't just incomplete? What if it's deliberately hiding something? We really have to take a step back here and honestly ask ourselves, who actually built the pyramids?
There's a totally stark contrast between what's written in the history textbooks and what you actually find when you stand inside the pyramid. The traditional view claims workers used primitive copper tools and wooden rollers to build Khufu's tomb in just 2 decades, right? But despite being a supposed tomb, there are absolutely zero royal remains. No funerary artifacts, no clear inscriptions from Khufu's era saying he built it, nothing. Plus, deep inside its intricate, totally pitch-black corridors, there's literally no soot. No smoke residue from the torches that workers would have unavoidably needed just to see what they were doing. It just doesn't add up.
Section 1. Anomalies in the stone. Engineering the impossible.
Just tape the number 80. Inside the pyramid, there are these enormous granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons each. And here is the truly astonishing kicker. The source for this incredibly heavy granite was located over 500 miles away from the Giza Plateau. Mainstream history seriously offers no convincing explanation for how ancient builders moved these immense stones across such vast distances without wheels or advanced machinery. I mean, even today, just moving one 80-ton block requires massive, heavy-duty industrial equipment.
And the engineering mystery goes well beyond just moving the stones. Researcher and engineer Christopher Dunn documented some wildly unexplained precision within this granite. We're talking perfectly round drill cores and highly precise cuts that literally match modern machining. To put this into a real-world perspective, modern researchers recently tried to replicate these cuts using traditional copper chisels, and they failed dramatically. After hours and hours of continuous, backbreaking effort, they managed a mere 4mm dent into the hard stone. If modern tools struggle that much, how on earth did ancient builders pull off such absolute perfection?
Moving to Section 2. The Ancient Sphinx Theory, Water in the Desert. And this brilliantly illustrates our next major revelation, 12,000. Independent researchers like John Anthony West and geologist Robert Schoch noticed something wild. The weathering on the Great Sphinx isn't from wind and sand. It actually features this round, undulating profile that is exclusively caused by torrential rainwater. The profound mystery here is that the last time the Sahara Desert saw enough heavy rainfall to cause the specific type of water erosion was way back at the end of the last ice age, roughly 12,000 years ago.
Now, despite the hard geological science backing this timeline up, mainstream Egyptologists largely reject the water erosion theory. As one researcher noted regarding this dismissal, they ignore it, they hope it'll go away, and it won't go away. While established historians consistently dismiss West and Schoch's findings, it's worth noting they haven't exactly offered a convincing counter-explanation for those heavy water erosion marks either.
Section 3. Inside the hidden chambers. Decades of sealed doors.
The pace of exploration inside has been, frankly, agonizingly slow. In the early 1990s, a robotics engineer named Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a camera up this tiny, unexplored shaft and discovered a hidden limestone door. And get this, it was fitted with 2 small copper handles. It's an incredible sensory detail, especially since metal fittings had never been found in there before. A decade later, in 2002, a National Geographic team actually drilled through that door only to find a second sealed door right behind it. And then, skipping ahead to 2017, a completely new mystery emerged with the discovery of what they call the Big Void.
So how did they find this void? Through something called muon radiography. This is an incredibly advanced type of cosmic ray scanning. It basically allows scientists to peer deep inside the pyramid's incredibly dense interior structures without physically disturbing a single stone. It was this exact cutting-edge technology that revealed a massive anomaly right above the Grand Gallery.
Which brings us to the Big Void itself. Guys, this isn't just some small crack in the rock. It is a massive, previously unknown chamber that seriously rivals all the known rooms within the entire pyramid. And the absolute most thrilling part? It has 0 visible access points. No entrance. It's been completely sealed off for millennia. To this very day, this colossal space remains entirely unexplored.
Section 4.
Guarding the secrets, the gatekeeper controversy.
I really want you to consider this for a moment. We have a newly discovered, massive void, and we have mysterious copper-handled doors. So, why is further exploration blocked? Requests by international scientific teams to probe deeper into the big void and those hidden doors are consistently denied or heavily restricted by the authorities.
At the very center of this debate stands Dr. Zahi Hawass, the incredibly influential former Minister of Antiquities. For decades now, it's been said that Hawass has effectively been the ultimate controller of what gets dug up and what stays buried in Egypt. Now, there are two distinct views here. On one hand, Hawass is viewed as strictly protecting priceless Egyptian heritage from irresponsible, destructive, and speculative claims. But on the other hand, some critics suggest he's fiercely guarding the established historical narrative by intentionally silencing alternative discoveries.
So, the crucial point is understanding the tangible impact of these restrictions, what some people call the cost of secrecy. Independent researchers who are trying to rewrite the timeline of human history face very specific roadblocks. Gantenbrink's initial door exploration suddenly halted. Access to further probe that 2017 big void repeatedly denied. And alternative frameworks, like the Orion correlation theory or the proposal of a lost global civilization, are often met with swift dismissal by the establishment.
This tension perfectly culminates in this provocative quote from the sources. Is he protecting Egypt's heritage, or is he protecting something else entirely? It raises a huge question. Could there be a deliberate attempt to suppress evidence of an older, highly advanced global civilization, or is this simply an abundance of caution from traditional academics who are defending established science? The debate remains incredibly fierce on both sides.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Will we ever unlock the hidden doors of history, or will the Great Pyramid's secrets remain sealed forever? You know, the deeper we dig into this source material, the more fragile our accepted historical timeline appears. Whether it's 80-ton precision-cut stones, a rain-weathered sphinx, or massive unentered voids, the sands of Egypt are clearly still hiding something profound. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep asking questions and